Welcome to the Global War Watch Network. Before we begin, if you find this explainer valuable, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.
We're looking at a high-stakes chess match playing out in the deep ocean, where the balance of power is shifting, and pretty dramatically at that.
So to really get a handle on this, let's start with the raw numbers, which honestly paint a pretty stark picture of this new reality.
Okay, get this. Between 2021 and 2025, research shows China has launched 10 nuclear submarines. 10.
Now, in that same period, the United States launched 7. And it's not just about the number of hulls in the water, it's the industrial scale and the strategic momentum behind it. China's launching heavier, more capable vessels, like their Type 094 ballistic missile subs and new guided missile platforms, and they're outpacing the U.S. in total tonnage.
This industrial capacity gap is an absolutely critical factor. I mean, we're hearing that a Chinese shipyard can build up to 20 submarines at once, while U.S. shipbuilding infrastructure is, well, reportedly struggling. This allows China to sustain and expand its force growth well into the 2030s.
So the crucial point is that while the U.S. still has the technological edge in quietness, that advantage is being challenged, which brings us to a really big problem. How do you track an opponent you can't even hear?
And that question leads directly to a critical vulnerability in the U.S. detection strategy, the sonobuoy. Just think of these as the eyes and ears of anti-submarine warfare aircraft. They're dropped from planes, and they're pretty much the most accurate way to find subs over huge stretches of ocean. But for decades, the U.S. and its allies relied almost entirely on one single source for them.
Yeah, and that created a massive single point of failure. A joint venture called Irapsco basically had a monopoly for over 35 years. So when it was dissolved in 2023, the entire supply chain was put under some severe stress.
And this chart just brilliantly illustrates the strategic miscalculation here. For years, the peacetime procurement models just kept underestimating what was needed. You can see how Congress had to keep stepping in to add more funds, just to backfill inventories that were already getting low.
But what if the very nature of hiding underwater is becoming, well, obsolete? New technology is threatening to make the oceans transparent.
This is a truly revolutionary claim. Researchers in China are saying new AI networks can reduce a submarine's chance of escaping detection to just 5%. Now, the technology behind this falls into two main categories.
So, on one hand, you've got artificial intelligence, which makes tracking smarter and way more adaptive. But then you have quantum sensing, which completely changes the rules by not relying on sound at all. It basically detects tiny non-acoustic disturbances, like magnetic fields, with incredible sensitivity.
So what this does is create a persistent, intelligent network that's just incredibly difficult to escape. A submarine can't just go silent and wait for the coast to be clear anymore.
And these advanced systems, they're being integrated into key assets like the P-8A Poseidon. That's the frontline anti-submarine aircraft for the U.S. and many of its allies. It's becoming the central hub for this whole new way of doing things.
All of this leads to a really critical question for modern navies.
So, is the stealth submarine era over? Well, not exactly, but the game is becoming far more dangerous. Navies are having to actively adapt to this new, almost transparent battlefield.
The focus is shifting from simple quietness to intelligent networked stealth. We're talking about things like pump jet propulsion systems, advanced hull coatings, and even using AI for defensive moves. It's all about outthinking the network, not just hiding from it.
Which leaves us with a provocative thought to end on. In an era of transparent oceans, is the ultimate advantage not who can hide the longest, but who can think the fastest? That's all the time we have for this explainer. Thank you for your time and participation. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Global War Watch Network. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section, and you can join us on social media via the links in the description.